Now, if you get this annoying light brown algae in your aquarium, it's called diatom. And this annoying light brown algae that you get on your glass, get on your rocks, various fish will nibble at it. So tangs will nibble at it, blennies will nibble at it. So getting things that help eat it is a good thing. And then you also need to look at your water supply. So if you are getting natural seawater, there's going to be silicates in it. Particularly seeing you might live in somewhere like Sydney, which is not the Great Barrier Reef. It is not a nutrient poor environment like the Great Barrier Reef. Therefore, things like silicates are very possible in the water. Or if you're using tap water, you may be getting silicates in your water. So if you use RO water and a good quality salt mix, then that would reduce the amount of silicates getting into your tank. And there are various medias that can remove silicates out of the water, such as phosphine. So over a period of time, silicates building up can become an issue. So therefore, testing your silicate level with a good quality test kit, such as your JBLs. They've got silicate tests, such as, where the fuck is it? Silicate. The fucking silicate test. Anyway, it's in here. So there's silicate. I'm sure it's available separately as well. But bloody coronavirus, everything's out of stock since the coronavirus. Just blame that. That's what everyone blames. Why not? So anyway, getting a good silicate test kit to test your silicates is a very good thing. Now, the frustrating thing about this is that zero ain't zero as such. So what you need to do is you need to do things to get it down, improve the quality of your food, make sure you're only feeding very clean foods, such as your Spectrum's probiotics, this stuff. So feed good quality food like that, and then some, say, Danichi. They're my favorite go-to foods. So making sure you're feeding good quality foods and not just like nori and stuff that's probably going to hold large amounts of silicates in it. The other thing is to make sure that when you clean your tank, don't just get a magnet cleaner and clean it, because the diatoms are unicellular, which means you just wash them off the glass and then they float around and just stick somewhere else. So in a perfect world, you get some polyfilter or something and you wipe it, so then you actually bring the diatoms out, because you want to remove the diatoms from the water. You don't want to just rub them off, or they're just going to stick back on again, which will be nice and frustrating. Now, the next thing that you need to do is you need to use a product like this to get the silicate level to zero. And then once it's at zero, you've got to keep it at zero for long enough to starve out the diatoms. So it's just not a fast process. But if you stick with it and you get your silicate level down, you'll end up with a beautiful tank like this one. But you do have to be patient. You can't go thinking, oh, I'm going to chuck this stuff in and suddenly it's going to be fine. That's not the case. You need to make sure you're not overfeeding. You need to make sure that your water supply, be it your top-up water or your water change water, is low in silicates, preferably zero. So if you test your new water and it's, say, Sydney natural seawater, or it's made up with tap water, you're going to have silicates in it. Or maybe your cartridges need to be replaced in your RO filter. So whatever you need to do to make sure there's not silicates going into the tank. And then you need to do water changes with high quality water, and you need to use products such as this. They're going to suck the silicate out. And then once you've done all that, you've got to be patient, because the diatom literally has to starve off. So this whole process does actually take months. It's not quite as hard as I'm making it out, but you have to be prepared for this process. Anyway, if you have any other tips about silicates, testing silicates, removing silicates, then put a little note on the bottom of this video.